too. And we're also
Yes, sir.
streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on Facebook. My Facebook usually is where the largest of our audience are. And so we are streaming on that Facebook as Steve Actor TV. And then as Steve Akita TV also on YouTube. Feel free to share the link with your loved ones so that they can watch this.
Stephen Akintayo, can you hear me, please?
You know, can we unmute ourselves, please? Everybody, mute yourself. We get to the time where we all have the opportunity to speak. And before you talk, kindly say,
Let's say, don't have, okay, wait. I'll give you change.
before you take comment, we appreciate if you just type a comment first. So if you want to say something, type a comment. I'm going to be checking the comment section. Please, let's not just interject. You can type something in the comment section and we'll pick your conversation. I want to welcome everybody and thank you again for coming. God bless you for your patriotism. I want to start today's show by saying the End SARS movement actually is what has brought about the most patriotic movement in Nigeria's history. One of the major mistakes that we have been making is thinking that our forefathers who started Nigeria were united. They actually were not. The Saudana was speaking for the north, Azikwe was speaking for the east, and Aulo was speaking for southwest. And so this division we're inheriting had been there from day one. And this answers, and that's why there was so much, the political class hated it, because it was the first time we're not talking religion. It was the first time we're not talking tribalism. Nigerians were united, home and abroad, against ending police brutality. But it was more than that. We also wanted an end to bad governance. And it was obvious that the movement was moving gradually from End SARS to End Jobo Pay to National Assembly members. End Senate was gradually going to move to, of course, provide power, was gradually going to move to give electricity. It was going to move to other major important aspects and issues that are key to our growth and development as a nation. And we saw how the usual method in being used during election, where they hire thugs and use those thugs to go ahead and, of course, make sure they truncate the will of the people and use those thugs to make the rightful voters to be scared to even go and vote. How many of you noticed that the last election, 2019, they used thugs to scare people, okay, from going to vote? If you notice that, just type, I notice, I notice. Right now, again, this same strategy is what the government and politicians are trying to use. Push out thugs, everybody is scared, and then the entire movement is dead. I want to condemn the arson, looting going on. We are not criminals. We are not looters. When you look at the civil rights movement, why it worked was that Martin Luther King was leading a peaceful revolution. A peaceful revolution. It cost him his life at some point, but that was why in 2008, what he saw eventually came to pass, even though it's still far from what we needed. You can begin to see that people are gradually no longer being judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Like I said again, racism is far from being over, way, way far from being over. But Martin Luther King's dream is gradually coming to pass. It was a peaceful revolution. Malcolm X was not willing to lead any peaceful revolution. And we can see how history is not as kind to Malcolm X like the way it has been kind to Dr. Martin Luther King. Now, tonight we have as many of us as we can, we have opportunity to discuss what is the way forward, NSAS. What is the way forward? Remember again the vision, and please let's not get carried away. Let's not get distracted. It was a peaceful movement. Who led to the shooting? Who ordered the shooting in Lekki? I don't care whether anybody died or not. I believe people died. And I'm not going to let them drag us into that conversation of where's the evidence? Did somebody die? Did somebody not die? It doesn't matter. Who ordered the shooting at Lekki? Was it right to go and shoot, okay, where peaceful protesters are, even if nobody died? Was it the right thing to do? Is the reward for disobeying curfew, shooting live ammunition at peaceful protesters? And that's the real issue here. We have been dragged. They've attempted to drag us into tribal war. It's not working so far, even though there were pockets of violence that almost generated. They have tried to drag us into religious war. They have realized they have not succeeded so far, even though there were little issues here and there. In some mosques were burnt in Port Harcourt. But it has not, they have not succeeded using that method still. Okay, they've also tried to, push out misinformations out there and get every youth to be distracted and to start, okay, who died? People not die. Okay, somebody died. Did somebody not die? All that, please, we are muting everybody. Okay, mute yourself as you join. When it's time for you to talk, you will be unmuted. But please let me have this intro. So, and the reason why I'm giving this intro is that I do not want anybody to please come here and speak beyond what we are trying to discuss. Is NSAS way forward? It was a non-violent movement, okay? And if you are asking for a violent movement, please go and organize your own town hall. This is a conversation about the real vision of the NSAS, which was non-violent. What is the way forward, okay? How do we stay united? And remember, how do we then navigate this conversation to other major important things that we want to fight for? Good governance, okay? How do we make sure that we can channel this conversation into 2023? Young people must rule in this country. They must run this country. People who are about to die cannot be determining our destiny. Enough is enough, right? You cannot be bringing people who are close to the grave, okay, to come and start determining the future of Nigeria. It won't work. We are not taking it. You have constituted a panel of inquiry, and then you put old people there, okay? Youth are supposed to be 50% of all those panel of inquiry, and they are supposed to be co-chair. Stop painting us as irresponsible people. Stop painting us as though we don't know what we're doing. Stop painting us as if we are thugs, we are hooligans, we are looters. And that's what they are trying to do. It's not working so far, and it won't work. We are not looters, we are not thugs. We are very organized people. We know what we're doing. Even the thugs that came to disrupt the movement were later being fed, and they all calmed down. So there are young people who could co-chair all the panel of inquiry to investigate all the killings, extrajudicial killings that has gone on. There are young people who could co-chair it. So you can't just say we give you one slot. Then later, oh, okay, we will give you 2 slots. Are you kidding me? 50% of the composition must be young people. We must begin to demand right now, any governor that is in their first term that will not make their commissioners 50% youth out. We are voting you out next election. These are the conversation we need to start talking about. This energy needs to be moved towards a political change that begins to bring in young people, that begins to get young people to be at the seat of discussion, at the table. Because let me tell you the truth, if we are not at the table to determine our own destiny, then we can't have a headway. I spoke to somebody, a young person in his 30s in the APC government this morning, and I said to him, why didn't you talk to these leaders? What's going on? You're also part of the government. Of course, it's not that high, but you are in this government. And he said, you won't believe it. Even the little he said through his social media handle, they were already castigating him. That who is he standing for? And that no government official needs to say anything. And that and he's above his pay grade. He's just just one committee that they put him as a member. So young people have to get, and during the election, by the way, this person I'm talking about was one of the top guys they were asking questions for. Was the one they want to ask, how do we go here? How do we penetrate here? Now they entered. They gave him one small portfolio, right? And told him, you are a small boy, you cannot shout. Even the protests, they kept telling him they should not support those protests. Those people are rebels. And the reason why all this continues is because we are not at the table. So, way forward is what we are discussing. I want to thank you once again for coming. I want to really appreciate everyone. And we'll gradually now open the lines and everybody start talking one by one. Now, these are the rules. If you want to say something, you want to kindly tell us your name. Okay, kindly tell us your name, as well as the direction of your conversation. And you can use the word unmute me. Okay, so 3 things I need to see. Number 1, your name. If you can add the city you are joining us from. Number 3, the direction you want to go in your conversation, e.g., grassroots, e.g., mobilization, e.g., whatever. Just type just one sentence, your direction of conversation, and then you can then last word unmute me. Okay, put all that in one word, please. Put it all together, and then we'll bring you up to have conversation. Lastly, I also want to say, please, we young people of Nigeria needs to get all these thugs also involved. Thugs are human beings too. If we do not get the thugs, on board and talk to them and get them to become civil and get them to participate without selling their votes for 2,000, 1,000, we will lose this battle. We need to enter those streets. Some of you are too tush to enter the street. You need to enter the street. Go to Ajegule, go to the suburb, talk to them. You may not smoke Igbo, but your brain is correct, and talk to them. Speak in the language they will understand. If you don't know how to connect to them, get somebody else who knows the street to go with you. We need to start talking to these people. Enough of them being used to truncate the destiny of this nation. Enough. So Taufik is the first person I'm unmuting. How are you? Good morning. Good evening. Please go ahead. Taufik Fashino, I've unmuted you. Please go ahead and you can unmute yourself. Please remember the 4 things I asked you to say, add them in one post, please. One post.
Okay, good evening, sir.
Yes,
can you hear me? Yeah, my name is Fashino. I'm speaking from Abulegba, Lagos State. So I just want to focus on educating and sensitization of our youth. It is obvious that everybody knows what we want, and what we want is good governance that emanate from the youth taking control of what we want and being able to participate in the governance to ensure that all activity are done accordingly with accountability and responsibility, because what we are seeing right now is high level of activity not being accounted for, and our leaders, they are not ready to take responsibility of good governance in Nigeria. And that is why it is important for us right now to create a network, because I think the first thing to do is to have a network of people that can educate, sanitize, and provide directions. Because as much as we have a lot of people, a lot of youth that have vision, tenacity, courage to take positions, to lead, so also we have a lot of people that, because of what they want to hit, because of unemployment, because of the way their pocket is, they could not actually envision the kind of Nigeria that we want. And the first thing to do is to bring everybody into to the same page, because we should not be ruled by what we want to eat. We should act. So we should not act based on what we want to eat. We should act based on our vision, what we want to achieve. So, and if this message does not get to the grassroots, does not get to everybody, for everybody to be on board, work on the same direction, the same goal, the same vision, this will not be achieved. So my emphasis is to create a network where we can educate, sensitize, bring people on board, create vision, and let people be able to follow it. And I strongly believe that we can achieve this, by taking things, taking hold of our future on ourselves. Because I see this as
yes. Because of time, I'm going to pause you there, but I agree with you 110%. We need to start sensitization at the local level, right? I mean, grassroots level. Also, please, so that we don't lose our audience, anybody who is speaking, your video needs to be on. Please, your video needs to be on. Anybody who is speaking, we need that so that we don't lose our audience. Our audience wants to see your face. And it's important. So next person I'm bringing up, again, because of time, let's all make sure we speak, if possible, 30 seconds or 1 minute. Next person is Edward. Edward, please go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. My name is Edward, 26-year-old professional in Lagos. And the thing is from my own end, I've seen a lot of young people my age that are pushing for this revolution, that are pushing for these changes in Nigeria. But one thing that I feel that we sometimes don't get is that it's not only the educated ones that can get this right. We need the help of these people that these politicians use during election. We need to educate the common guy on the road. We need to educate that agbero, those conductors, those bus drivers. We need to educate them. They need to see the vision that we also have. They need to see that Nigeria cannot continue like this. They need to see that the 1,015 we give them, that these guys give them, is not going to get them to the promised land. They need to see that Nigeria can be bigger than what they are seeing right now. So when we organize this kind of protest, we cannot just segment them out. We cannot just put them by the side. We need to carry them along. We need to educate these guys on the road. That's my submission. I believe that nationwide education, right, at the grassroots level, to all those people that we seemingly look down on, we need to educate these guys. They need to see, because at the end of the day, if you don't do this right this time around, by 2023, they're going to put out money and give the same guys. The same guys will come out with guns and machetes and send us away from polling booths. So we need to educate them. That's my submission.
Thank you very much. That's a powerful one. So it's still similar to the sensitization of the first speaker. So next person is Emeka Eze. Please go ahead. Emeka Eze from Delta State. Go ahead. You can mute yourself, Emeka Eze. After Emeka Eze, I'm going to be having Emmanuel Jojo. So if you have posted earlier and I didn't see, you can post again. And then after Emeka, after Jojo, we're going to be having our first female, Yewande Grace. Yes, go ahead, Emeka Eze. Hello, Emeka Eze, are you there? Okay, if Emeka Eze is not there, let's have Jojo. Jojo, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, Kaize, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Go ahead, we'll be hearing you.
Okay. I'm speaking on mobilization. You know, in Nigeria right now, you cannot do anything without leadership. When there is no leadership, you find that there's no direction. So I would strongly suggest that we should have a delegate in each state. In each of the states in Nigeria, we should have a delegate, someone who helps to mobilize the people, sensitize the people, and let them know the importance of what we're doing. For us to take over leadership is not just going to be by just saying it. There must be an action. And that action begins by having a delegate, someone we can, call up to ask him, how is the place? How is the people? Are they responding? Someone we can actually financially mobilize to help, equip the people, sensitize them. Where we shall have a platform where we can contribute, and that contribution will be used to empower our delegates, who will then move to the grassroots, do a sensitization program, enlightening the people on the importance of leadership, why every youth must be involved in politics. This is very important. And when we do this, you find that we'll be able to achieve our goal. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you for your comment. Awesome. Jojo, are you there? If you're there, go ahead. You're next. Okay, so the next person is a lady. Please go ahead. If I mention your name, can you just go ahead? Okay.
Good evening, House.
Good evening.
My name is Phoebe Ishola Mustafa. I stay in Lagos, and I'm a business and system analyst. I'm going to give you practical example of what I've done. I stay in Abule Egba, and I will tell you two areas that I have very great influence. And how did I do it? During the COVID-19, anytime my husband gives me money, I will slash it into two. And I will take half of the money and buy, if it's just a loaf of bread, 2 pieces of Indomie with 6 pieces of egg. Ask in Abule Egba. They don't know me by name, but they know the woman with a red car. I will go into the streets and I will give it to them. That way, if they are fighting and I pass by and I say, guys, don't do it, they stop, they won't. Another influence I have is in abattoir markets, where I have all Hausa boys. When I enter the market, you will see people hailing me from one angle or another. Do you know what I've done to these people? I go there, I make the Hausa brother know that you are my brother. That before we talk about ethnicity, before we talk about religion, you are my brother first. So enough of us saying, oh, let us start sensitizing, let us start practicalizing it. In your little area, in the area where you are, start doing it now. Start influencing that Agbero. You won't believe that 500 naira can do a lot. The day I have 1,000, I will split into 200 naira. Call 5 people, sit down with them and tell them, don't sell your vote during election. When they ask you to bring guns, don't do it. Can they give you their daughter or their son to marry? That way, we will have influence over people. And another thing that I think we can do is data gathering. There was one thing I did in my constituency, in my state, in Ondo State. I went to my constituency and I tried to do a data collection. I want to know every street in that constituency. I want to know every house in that constituency. I want to know every house owner in that constituency. I tell you, from my house, I will speak to everybody in my constituency because I have data. In our area, let's start working towards data collection. I can call the Bale of anywhere because I gathered them, I introduced myself to them through data. Every house in my constituency, I know. Every street in my constituency, I know. Every house owner in my constituency, I know. It cost me a lot of money to do that data gathering, but I did it and I have it. And I wonder that politicians that are killing themselves trying to mobilize votes. From the corner of my room, I will mobilize. The little things I can do, I do. So more than anything, data gathering might seem a lot, but if we all do our part, little by little, we will gather this data. This Agbero, we will know them. I will tell you the head of the Agbero on that bridge, Abule Egba, because I relate with these people. Let us start talking to them. They feel what we are doing. But because these politicians will come with little money, and because every hungry man needs to feed themselves for a day, they collect it. But if we do our grassroots sensitization, we might be able to win a lot on our side. So my contribution is that we start doing data gathering. And I'm willing to offer my services for free to any group. Like I agree with what Jojo said. We need a form of leadership in different sectors, in different areas, different locations. Let us start driving towards a goal. We need data gathering so that when we have this data, effortlessly we will be able to sensitize these talks. That's my contribution. Thank you, House.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Fantastic. I love the feminine energy here. So we're gonna have next Elizabeth. No, let me see. Emmanuel Archie. One of the things that I want to say as Emmanuel Archie comes up is, for now we just needed to have this conversation, because some of you will be saying, so what are we doing? Let's talk, Abi, because we are beginning to have points now. About 2-3 people have said sensitization. The last speaker just mentioned data gathering, and I agree with her so much. So we're beginning to see way forward strategies, because before we start saying this is what we are doing, we need to talk. And the Bible says, come, let us what? Reason together. And that's what we are doing. And I think it's important, because if there's one of the reasons why I feel we probably were hijacked by talks, was because there was no reasoning together. Imagine there were certain people organizing evening Zoom meetings like this every day during that NSAS movement, and we're reviewing issues, and we're talking, and we're analyzing, and we're conversing. It would have gone farther. So it's important that we talk first. Let's talk together, and everybody wants, as this is going to hopefully be a 2-hour show, as many as can talk, give us ideas. Just tell us your name, your city, what particularly you want to talk about, and tell me, unmute me. That's the 4th thing to write, and I'll bring you up. So we have Emmanuel Archie, go ahead. I need these videos to be shared, the Zoom link to be shared with our Hausas brothers. I need Hausas here. Listen, if you think you can change Nigeria without Northern Nigeria, we're deceiving ourselves. One of the reasons why this NSAS movement was also hijacked was because we were not able to gather enough Northern Nigerian. And listen, they are more angry than us in the South. They are more marginalized than us. I'm not talking of the northern elite that is chopping money. I'm talking of the average northerners. And that's why we must never allow them to move this thing to ethnic rubbish. If you know any northern group, share this link. Let them come and talk, please. Yes, Emmanuel Archie, go ahead.
All right. Good evenings.
Good evening.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for sharing this Zoom conference. I just saw it a few minutes ago, and I logged on. What you just said now is already what's beginning to happen in the north. Because like yesterday, I was in my place of work and I got a text message that Muslims are planning a reprisal attack because they said their brothers were killed in Abuja and in Lagos. So we need to find a way to connect, to connect with them. Okay, but down to my post, I made a post. I don't know how it will work out. I don't know the workability of it. Now that the whole nation is almost in anarchy, because if you look at social today, all you see is people looting. In fact, Cross River State is there, the Akwa Ibom, and then Jos today, and all that. But I'm calling from Plateau State. I'm calling from Jos. So with the crazy energy that the youths are showing, if we can harness that energy for a positive movement, and I don't know how we can do that. I've been thinking, since I saw this link, I've been thinking, how can we harness their energy? Because what's playing out is that everybody is angry. Everybody has had enough.
Yes.
In fact, like the news I got from Cross River State today is that they are looting every house that belongs to a political office holder. And then they are burning offices that belong to, even the state government and all that. Now, that is negative way of showing for their energy.
Yes.
But if we could harness it, and then unfortunately, elections are still like 3 years away. If it were like this year, it would have been a different thing. But coming to the elections, I am sad to say that the two major parties, none of them is a saint. And that's the truth of the matter. Because you even go to the PDP states and you still find the hiding of palliatives and all that.
Yeah.
You still find this thorough wickedness and not caring for the masses everywhere. So we need a new platform. I don't know the details. I've been talking to a few lawyer friends of mine for like a week now, asking them what can be done to set up a new platform. We need a new platform where we can find credible people that will run. Okay. And then secondly, in the heat of what is happening right now, I don't know if there's a way we can set up an online platform where people can, sign for a vote of no confidence. Because a lawyer friend told me, if we could do that and send it to the UN, if they see the number of people that have signed it, it might be a different matter.
Okay, thank you.
It may change coloration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For the vote of no confidence, change.org is, can do that. And there are already enough of that. And many of us can still try. Yewande is next. Because of time, let's keep it 30 seconds to 1 minute. We have over 70 people here and Mark, so the others can also give us ideas here. Yeah, go ahead, Yewande.
Hello, excellent evening, everyone. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, awesome. So my name is Yewande Grace. I'm a lawyer by training, and I'm so glad that I have this opportunity to contribute and speak up. And I'm going to keep this very short and sweet. Now, one thing we need to understand is that a movement without leadership, without a purpose, without a strategy, is going to be almost like a pregnancy without a baby. It's going to be like a pregnancy that gives birth to fibroid. So it's important that we have this discussion. Now, one of the very first point I'm going to give for way forward is this. We need an organization. Look, this thing is not social, just social. It is essentially political and a legal matter. Taking to the streets, yes, was the first step. The next step is to form a political party. Let's call it by the name. We need a political party. Yes, data collection, all of that, but that would be an haphazard way of going about what we need to do. What we need is not just a change of government, but a change of governance. That's what we need in this country. And with the youth have spoken up, we have shown that we have the capacity to do what they have been able to do for the last 60 years. We have shown that we do not have the mentality that they have. They don't not forget that these people were children or are children of slaves born under oppression. The mentality that they have is that in order to move on and to move up, they need to oppress others. We have shown that we are not of that mentality. We have shown that we are not of that standing. So let's call a spade a spade. What we need is a political party. And under that, we can begin to strategize and move on the ground. We consider and this year, 2020 has shown us that we do not even need to be in a physical place to achieve things I want to achieve. We are the hashtag generation. We are the Sorosoke people. We understand how to use technology. They don't. While they think we've gone to sleep, we are busy working on the ground. Take a look at the dock. It sits calmly on the surface of the water, but it is paddling like mad underneath. That's what we need to do.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
We don't need a physical office. The internet is our office. We need.
Thank you very much. Time. I appreciate you. And I know we all have so much you want to say, but we have a whole lot of us here, and we just want to give each of us an opportunity to hear, because like I said, we just need to talk to ourselves. And I wish we had something like this while the protest was going on, to just talk, right? Because ideas I've already listed about 6 things right now that we could do from what everybody has said. And this is how we can create that change that is needed. Please, I'm begging you, if you can share this Zoom link or the Facebook pages at Stephen Akintayo TV on Facebook and on YouTube. I need Northern brothers and sisters here. I need the North here, please. Okay, we cannot create change without the Northern Nigeria. Let's wake up to that reality. Okay, we need the North here. So let's get the Northerners here. Let them come and talk to us. Even if they don't want us to do NSAS or N whatever, let them talk. We just need that conversation. Young people of this country need to talk across different parts of Nigeria. We just need to talk to ourselves, right? You know, the next person is from diaspora. She's Buki from London. I also have somebody here is an Indian, is married to a Nigerian. So he's also going to speak from the perspective of foreigners who work in Nigeria also. Yes, Buki Lawal, go ahead.
No, I'm not using it, but it's I'm on the live Zoom.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Can we all mute ourselves? Everybody else, please mute yourself, please. Only your video should be up. Mute yourself. Bukilawa, go ahead.
Thank you. So, for us to win this war as youth and future leaders, I also believe that empowerment of the grassroots has to take place. And how do we do that? Through education, through campaigns. So we're talking of the Northerners. We need to campaign there aggressively, letting them know that, see, we are not enemies, we are brothers. This is the kind of life you can have. We in diaspora can take from the experience of what we enjoy here in London and show them what they can if they work together with us. Empower, we call them hoodlums. I don't believe they are hoodlums. Anyone can turn to a hoodlum if you're hungry. Empower these kids. Take them off the streets, empower their parents. We have people with great ideas. Help build their ideas. These are the same people who will go back to the poor areas and tell them, these are the people working for us. Then yes, create a new party. Don't just create a new party, but let that party be people with the same idea. Let that party have watchdogs. 2023 is the only way to change Nigeria. I'm sorry, APC or PDP, whatever they're called, they are dead. They are recycled criminals within those parties. The next way is 2023, create your own party. Let people from diaspora, let there be different offices around the world that will fight for Nigeria. That is the only way I can see Nigeria going forth. Thanks. That's my little contribution.
Thank you so much. Please, I want to advise anybody coming up, we want to see your face. So it would be nice if your video is turned on. So I know a lot of us are trying to get at me so I could pull you up. The rule is you tell us your name, you tell us the city you're joining us from, you tell us the topic you want to discuss, and then you type on mute and you put that in the comment section. I'll pull you up. If you have done that and yet I have not pulled you up, just do it again because you know there are quite a lot of comments coming in. So I appreciate that. Our next person is Emmanuel Onyedikachi. Yes, Emmanuel Onyedikachi, go ahead. So you tell us your name, the city you're joining us from, you tell us the topic you want to discuss, and you type unmute me, right? All of it, you post it together in one word. Emmanuel Onyedikachi, please go ahead. Okay, Emmanuel is not available. So let's have Ahmed Akande. Ahmed Akande, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I took my time to watch the 2 hours session we had yesterday evening, and I drew some notes from there. I think we should all go to Dr. Stephen Akintayo's page. Let's take our time. It's let's have it downloaded if need be. Let's share it. It's about 300 something MB, so that we can have a background to this discussion. Basically, from a fall through from what we discussed yesterday, we need to start sensitizing. I started mine. Each and every person that we meet, we need, having your PVC is not enough any longer. We need to be active in the political parties. Let's get our party cards so that we can be involved. TK mentioned something yesterday. She said, she gave an example of the 2019 election, that we had no options than between Atiku and President Muhammadu Buhari. Those are the only options we have. To give ourselves more options, we need to be actively involved in the process. Let's sensitize ourselves. Let our influencers, our social media influencers, our artists, let them start mobilizing their followers. There's nothing wrong if, as I stand as Ahmed, if I have my PVC and I have my APC card in my left pocket, my PDP card in my right pocket. After all, these politicians, if they fail in PDP, they run to APC overnight. So let's be involved in the primaries. That's the way we can actually get ourselves involved. Then talking about mobilizing our immediate community, I usually do something. I think it's good we share experience from what the madam in Abulegba said. Mm-hmm. In my community, what I do is this. When you meet me, I don't have too much to give you for free. I get a value from it. When you meet me, you'll see me fixing potholes on our road that all of us use together. So when you meet me, you want anything from me, I'll tell you, join me, have the shovel. If you join me in rendering this community service, then I can part with 1,000 naira or 500 naira for you. Do you know what? Almost everybody in that community now know me for that. That's the man that fixes our road. And when you join in, he gets to give you something for pure water. So that way, these guys we call out, these guys we call talk, we can start to engage them. So that when they get to something as meaningful as election, they know you are somebody that has always related with them. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you so much. So I want to say background to what this man said was part of what we discussed yesterday, which was that we actually need a holistic strategy. So saying that we're going to start a new political party alone is not just enough. For example, you start a new political party and just young people. The question is, the highest that can happen is that you win the presidential election. What happened to the House of Rep? What happened to Senate? What happened to local governments? So what you then can have is a president who has genuine intentions. but you then have others who are going to frustrate that effort. So what we need is we need to form a youth party, absolutely. However, we need young people to infiltrate APC, PDP at the local level. Even if they will now not give a young person to become the leader, you will see that you can negotiate to say 50% of your cabinet must be youth, else I'm a Dakini. And so you have to, if they know they couldn't do without you, then they have no choice. So we need an holistic strategy. One strategy is new political parties, yes. Second strategy is that we need to flood all the existing political parties. So that what will happen is that if we had bargained that 50% of the elective positions must be given to youths, even if the new political party we form became the president, in the Senate, you still see 50% young people there, whether they are from PDP or from APC. And at least we can remind ourselves and say, remember the struggle that got us here. Remember what we promised the people, right? Let's go with this agenda, even if you are not from the party that the president is from. So you then can have something concrete. So guys, I agree, we all need to flood all political parties, APC or PDP, as well as form new ones. We need to have PVCs and we need to go to the grassroots. I have been doing, so far, myself and my wife will send more than 5,000 kids to school. During COVID-19, when Ajegunle, we fed hundreds of families. But I think enough of that strategy needs to be reworked, because it was a strategy majorly focused on just helping people. There was no agenda behind it. There was no trying to sensitize people. Now, I think it's time to start saying, you know what, we'll go to Oshodi, we'll feed people. But after feeding them, we'll go with megaphone, right? You don't need to collect 5,000 naira from them. You know, at least they have eaten. They will hear us, right? And we begin to engage and, and just educate people at that level. So fantastic. So again, sorry that we have so many people, and I'm just struggling to know who to call up right now. So I have Dr. Babatope next that is coming up. Please, like I said, you can repost your details immediately somebody is done speaking, because usually, because of many comments, by the time somebody is done speaking, in some cases, we're not able to see that you've asked me to call you up. Dr. Babatope, go ahead. Okay, Stanley Igbaji, sorry if I murdered your surname. Stanley Igbaji, you can come up. After that, Felicia Oyekola. Stanley Igbaji, after that, Felicia Oyekola.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah,
hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm actually talking from Cross River State, Calabar precisely. I'm Dr. Babatope.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. What I would like to say is that I haven't seen all what has happened so far, and for some of us that have been in this country. And then what I actually want us to look at is that for those that are architects and those that are builders, they know that there are different steps that you follow before a house becomes what it becomes. One of those steps is that you have to first of all survey the land. After surveying the land, you would actually lay some foundation. Then before you now start molding blocks, then before you now get to the design of the house. What am I trying to say in the essence? What I'm trying to say is that no matter the movement we are going to do, we have to actually know that it's something that is going to be time-taking and it's going to involve a lot of things. Like me now, I'm a medical doctor by profession. I know that where I am here, I'm not from Cross River here, and I know that affected a lot of people positively with my own profession. We can start with that, not necessarily only by money. You can actually influence people with what you do, so that when people are talking, even based on what you do, you can actually have clout or people following you based on what you are doing. And people can actually have something good to talk about you. Influence is not just about money, it's not about any other thing. And then in building capacity, for you to be able to build a capacity or to build influence on people, they must first of all get your trust. Trust is something that is very, very important, that they must first of all trust you. But the problem we may have to face is that if people cannot trust you, you won't be able to get them doing things for you or supporting your cause. So in just like some of the speakers have said earlier, in order for us to get trust and get all those things, that means we have to do something exceptional, something sacrificial, something that is different from what a normal person can do. Just like somebody cooking food and going to give them in the garage, that is something that is somebody cannot just sacrifice and just go there. Not everybody can do that. So to me, in building the capacity, every one of us, we have our profession, we have what we do, we have everything. As a youth of this land, let us use what we do. We may not all have the money to all put on the table, but within our profession, within what we do, we can use it and make influence. Then when you planted a tree and then you succeeded in planting another one, you continue planting and planting. Before you know anything, a single tree that started a forest, then before you know anything, you have a lot more. So what I'm saying in essence is that if you influence one person, you can influence another person. The person you influence can influence another person. Before you know anything, you're actually building people and training people. And one thing I've learned about life is that if you cannot contribute positively to people's life, you cannot earn their trust and you will not get followers. Like some of us, where we work now, where I work, there are some people that actually follows me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Because of time, I appreciate you. Stanley Egbaji. Stanley Egbaji. Day Grace. Yewande Grace.
Hello. Yes, I'm actually Yewande's mother. Yes, I'm Yewande's mother. Yes, and I want to thank you guys for this brilliant thing you're doing. I have just one suggestion. And the suggestion is that the Constitution is long overdue for total overhaul and total review. So try to, whatever political parties anybody is setting up, one of the core things that needs to be done is to call for a referendum and get the Constitution review. Basically, what I'm saying is better to build a solid, fair, equitable structure rather than hope that good people of integrity will occupy these positions. So let the structures be taken a look at, and then irrespective of the character, of the personality, of even among the youth.
Absolutely, ma. Because
thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma. I agree with you absolutely, because institutions are even better than strong people. Nigeria is used to having strong people. President Buhari is a strong person, and strong people do not create good institutions. So at the end of the day, we lose, because and it's strong people that are destroying Nigeria, honestly. Because what we need is strong institutions, not strong people. And we will probably have a better nation. So I agree with you very strongly. So we need review of the 1999 Constitution, because it was done by the military and it just favored them. And that was basically what it did. And Stanley Egbaji, I've unmuted you several times. You just didn't come up. So I'm unmuting you again, Stanley Egbaji. For those of you just joining, when you join, tell us your name, the city you're joining us from, the topic you want to discuss, and type unmute me. Those are the 4 things you need to post at once. Then we'll be able to bring you up. Go ahead, Stanley.
Good evening, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Go ahead, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Please, can you show your video? We need your video seen, please. We said everybody who wants to speak has to show their video.
Okay. Just that there's a little darkness here. So I actually want to. Oh, okay. My name is Stanley Egbaji. I'm chatting from Cross River. I'm speaking from Cross River State, Calabar precisely. Actually, I want to talk about structure, mobilization, and sensitization. If we don't have a better structure, all our strength will be wasted. All we'll be doing will just look like we don't have a direction. So it will be better, just like my other colleagues have said, if we can have a structure, possibly a name, a group, a name that will be given to us to be able to use to push our purpose, so that when the people, the elites want to talk to us, we actually have representatives that carries that particular name. So we will know that the people who are representing us are people from this group and not from any other group outside that. So people who come to represent us from group outside this particular group will not be given attention to. So in that way, it will be able to help us to organize ourselves and agitate for what we want. And not just that, we can also move to sensitize the people. Sensitizing the people does not mean we're only going to talk to them and tell them what they need to do and what they need to know. But also we have to bring, like you made mention of the giveaway and the help the needy you did, yes, without any agenda on it. But this time around, you put an agenda, not just give them and say, listen to me, but the helping the needy has to do with probably little job creation, skills acquisition, and all of that. Because some of these persons, if you give them food to eat, and they eat, and at the end of the day, they go their way, they will still be hungry. But when some of these skills acquisition are being introduced under this, because I saw the team, the coordination at the Lekki, that shows that we have a lot at stake and we have a lot we can do and that we are coordinated. So if this is being done and put in place, a lot of people who want to live off the street and be responsible for those who are not. And while we're doing this, because the scripture says, the scripture talks about the renewal of the mind. And this is the only way you can do it. You can't talk to a hungry man who is already an angry man. He won't listen to you. But when you feed him, you don't just feed him and go away. You feed him and create something that will keep him off where you've already picked him from. So that is one of the areas I feel we should actually look into it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dr. Rukayat from Kano. You can meet yourself, followed by Santosh.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Rukayat Aramide from Kano, even though I'm from Oyo State, but I reside in Kano State. Now, I am very glad about this movement, and I would like to air my views. We all know what has been going on in Nigeria right now in the past few weeks. And whether we like it or not, everybody has a common goal. The peaceful protesters, the hoodlums, the thugs, name it, whoever you see on the street right now, even those who are indifferent because of the environment I find myself right now. You see that everybody has a common goal. And what is that? Clamoring for a better Nigeria with good governance and good infrastructure and strong institutions. That is everybody's common goal. So now, if we look at it, how do we achieve all this? We can't achieve it without acknowledging what our main problems are. And the main problems here, like we know, comes from, one, the constitution that is long overdue for review. Secondly, policies that are not so friendly. Policies that need to be reviewed based on corruption and several other factors that impede national growth and development. education, which is nowhere.
I was invited to talk.
Systems are so corrupt and so porous that it enables everybody, it encourages corruption. So what am I saying? We need youth in positions of power, but I don't agree with the fact that we need to flood existing political parties. Because right now we have youth there, and I feel ashamed and disappointed when I see youths of my age being in that position, and when they get there, they forget where they're coming from, they forget the things they used to say before they got there, and they also take part in these things everybody is protesting about. And what are these things? Cost of governance, exorbitant cost of governance. These are the things we need to look at in our constitution. The cost of governance in Nigeria is extremely high, and there is no country that does that actually progresses. We all know the statistics from the world. Nigeria's legislatures are the ones that get the highest paid in the world for doing virtually the things they do, which we all know. So they spend so much. These are the things we need to look into. For me, even if there is a new youth movement tomorrow, and there is any youth that has actually partaken in this government of these existing two political parties right now, that has been used to collecting all this huge amount of money, I don't think they will function well in the new system we are going to find ourselves. If you put any of those youth in the new system, they will end up being corrupt. All they will be after is to go away with the money, because that is what they are doing right now. So we need to find a way of reviewing the constitution and the system and the policies in place that will discourage all these things. We'll reduce the cost of governance to the barest minimum. We make politics a part-time business. There is nowhere in the world that politics become a full-time job. Everybody should find work to do. We've all gone to schools. What's the essence of going to schools? We spent years in school. We spent years struggling. How do you come and hold a political position or a public office for 2 years, and because of that, you become rich for life? It's not done. And when you do that, the next thing they do is to replace themselves with their children, with their husbands. And before you know it, they form a dynasty. And this is the chain of problems we have found ourselves. So I think these are the things we need to look into. Secondly, our education, universal basic education. We should have an agenda, really. I'm sorry, I'm taking our time. There is so much to say in time. Now, the things on our agenda, a youth movement, I agree, not to flood these existing political parties. If you put a bad egg in a basket, it's going to spoil everything inside. I think a new movement with a new vision to reorient the system, to review the constitution, to have top things on the agenda. And what are these top things on our agenda? Universal basic education, quality education for everyone. Infrastructure, build our infrastructure, build our systems, build good policies, have good policies. A public officer, a civil servant should not be in a position to take contracts. A public servant should not be in a position to inflate the cost of contracts. We all blame politicians, but politicians don't steal alone. They are headed by civil servants. They are headed by top people in the ministries. So we need all this: universal healthcare, education, infrastructure, vocational training. And by the time we do this, I'm sure we'll be better for it, and our country will be better for it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Because of time, we have, I mean, for those of you who are not able to join us on Zoom, I think this Zoom can only take 100 live people. Please, you can join us on YouTube and on Facebook at Stephen Akintayo TV on YouTube and on Facebook, you know, but this can only take, 100 live people per time. Santosh, Santosh is a Nigerian, but he's not a Nigerian, rather, he's married to a Nigerian, he's an Indian. So Santosh, you are next.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to say only with some things like that. First of all, we should have unity. And secondly, what we have problem in Nigeria here, we should think about it. People don't have the job. We should have. Everyone should come to give people job.
Santosh, you need to work on your network.
All the small youth, they don't have the job. They do education, do everything. At last, they will end it. So what my suggestion first to hand?
Okay, go
Hello?
ahead. Your network is
Hello?
better now. Go ahead. Your network is better now. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
It's freezing again. So
We should have the unity first and the youth.
So Mr. Santos, if you can change your source of internet, it's really, really freezing. GK, you are next. So if you can get a better source of internet, will be great. So Mr. Santos is pushing for unity. But hopefully he gets a better source of internet and join
Hello,
us.
good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Can we see your video, please? Thank you.
Oh, my video. Yes, please. Can you see me now?
Yes, we can see you. Go ahead.
Okay, please. My suggestion is based on the current situation we have in Nigeria. Right now, the biggest problem we have in Nigeria, to my best of knowledge, is bribery and corruption. A lot of bribing is going on in the system that even the youth, they are ready to be bought. It's not all the youth that are standing now will stand again when they see money. You can see the meeting they entered yesterday. They started mentioning bogus amounts they want to give to youth for youth empowerment, this and that. And so many, if you follow the comments on channels news, you see that so many of these youth, they're already considering backing out of the protest, supporting the government. Here in abroad, we don't worship godfathers. We don't worship money. There are some basic amenities that is your right. You need to have them, like good electricity, good roads, good hospitals, free education. All these things is your right. Just let us enlighten them. Let them imagine that if they have these things in place, 24-hour electricity, would they not be able to make times 20 of this money they are trying to bribe them with? And if you are given this money, maybe the money will go to one direction. And if eventually you receive maybe 1 million naira, what can that do for you? What can that do for your unborn children? So we need to focus more on making our youth to understand that collecting bogus money from politicians is not the way forward. And if there's going to be any party that is going to be set up for the youth, the old politicians should not be allowed to be godfather to anybody. Because right now, the meeting they are entering, to my best of knowledge, is they are trying to see any youth that can come out for them to be godfather to that youth. Why are they doing this? They are scared of probing. They know that if any of these jet age youth, we call ourselves the jet age youth, enter into system, we will probe them to the last. And they are scared of this probing. If not, why we all these old people still trying to come together again? Let them remove themselves and allow this new generation to rule. We need to take over completely. We don't need any godfatherism. We don't need backup. Yes, they say we don't have experience. We don't need old experience. Where has this experience led these people? The experience is leading nowhere. We don't need the experience of thieves. We don't need the experience of murderers. We just need to rule with our own sense. If we fail, let us fail. And I know we won't fail. So they should allow the youth to take over completely. And any youth with bribery and corruption mentality should be enlightened. Maybe there should be an organization that will be set up to enlighten these people. You don't need to be daddy anybody. You're a governor, you say, welcome, daddy, welcome, mommy. You don't need that. You don't need to call anybody sir, mommy, daddy in government. They are your colleagues. They are there to serve you with your money. Don't see them like your God. Because if we don't remove this mentality from our brain, we will keep falling victims and they will keep using us. I want to first of all appreciate everyone who took part in that protest. Really, may the Almighty God bless every one of you. I appreciate you. I thank you for your courage, for standing up for Nigeria. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Forget all the people that try to discredit your effort. You did well. Your videos, your pain you went through is not unnoticed. We noticed it and we cherish it. And I pray that this labor will not be in vain. We will conquer completely. This is revolution. We don't have to give up. Giving up is not the way to getting up. We have to get up. Right now, they think they have brought us down. We are going up. So I just want us to have that positive mentality of not going down. So we have to pick up from where we start.
Thank you so much. Because of time, I want to say also we need to appreciate all our Nigerians in diaspora. Even now that we've stopped protests in Lagos or most parts of Nigeria, in the UK, in the US, protests has continued. They are not giving the, in fact, they went to, I heard they even went to Buckingham Palace today in London. So those of you in diaspora, thank you for standing up, for speaking up. I mean, the way the international community was forced, I won't say they wanted to, you guys forced them, okay, to speak up, because reality is that these guys don't care that much. I mean,
they don't.
I keep saying it, Nigerians have to stand up for themselves, thinking that America will come and save us, UK will come and save us. We're deceiving ourselves. But they saw how London was almost shut down by protesters. So they knew that they had no choice. But the British government brought this current administration to power. So they are a bit, almost nonchalant. But I want to say big thank you for all that you guys have been doing in diaspora.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Abraham from Vienna. Abraham from Vienna.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Akintayo, for setting up this platform. And thank you for everyone who has been contributing. Now, my own suggestion will be this. I want to urge us, let us think of, I like to align myself with this option of setting up a youth movement. Let's not go the way of political party, because that way we are going to be spreading our energy in many directions. And some of our youths are already foot soldiers for the PDP and for APC. And they are going to come around and start fighting our political party. Instead of that, let's set up a youth movement that will have presence in all the 774 local governments in the country. We can do that because we are everywhere. Now, this youth movement is going to be purely apolitical. We are not friends of any political party. We are just a pressure group that wants to advocate only for good governance. Now, how do I mean? When it's time for election at the local government level, let that youth movement, let them set up debates for every candidate that is going for any office and submit our agenda for those candidates and said, if you can promise us that when you get there, you will do this, you will do this, you have our block vote. Now, our sister from Kano talked about young men getting there and messing up. Yes, when they go there, they get sucked into the system. But if we have this youth movement, which is a pressure group and is not attached to any political movement party, we will stand as an independent pressure group. Anybody we push there, we stay outside government and we keep watching him. And we have structures at each local government headquarters, each state capital, so that like 2 times in a year, we have a meeting with those guys we supported with our blog vote and compare notes. This is the agenda we gave you. In 6 months, we have not seen any sign that you are doing so. So that way, anybody we support with our blog vote, be him an old man, a new man, we hold them to account 2 times in a year. And then I also want to talk about some position which we should not joke with. Oftentimes I see young people talking about presidency, this. We don't, you see, there are some offices in this nation that if we capture them, we will see development springing up everywhere. Talk about the local government chairman. In our little corners, let us organize ourselves. It's either we push one of us there or we support somebody from the established platform and give him an agenda and hold him to account. Then those are powerful offices we often overlook. Another one is the State House of Assembly. Let's either flood the State House of Assembly or push our own people there, because we hear stories of the allocation meant for local government ending up in the pocket of the governors. Now, even if it is a saint that you make your local government headquarters, if your local government chairman, if the allocation for the local government is sitting in the pocket of the governor, he can't do anything. So if we have our own people at the House of Assembly, they can pressure the governor and say, look, release every kobo that belongs to the local government to them so that they can do things for our people in the hinterland, or we impeach you. And for the council, let's also take over let's plan to either put our people as councillors or put people who have our agenda there, because those guys can also put pressure on the local government chairman and say, it's either you develop this locality, we know how much is coming from the capital every month. It's either you develop this locality or we impeach you. Let's not.
I really have to move on to somebody else because of time.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I really want to thank you for the pressure group conversation. Today there was a town hall meeting, virtual town hall meeting between the deputy governor of Ogun State and the youth who led the protests in Songwater. And even the governor had announced 12 roads that will be constructed, because they became a pressure group, and their own protest was channeled towards the bad road that was around Songwater. And in fact, I mean, even the Olota of Ota came out, begged them, they told him they want to see the governor himself. That when he was contesting, Shebi, he knew how to come there every time begging. And that led to a virtual town hall meeting today, and the government officials were all there. So I feel even if this is going to move into a political party, let it start with a movement that is more of a pressure group that begin to put pressure on politicians, that begin to threaten them, because that's what all these people understand. We will not vote you again. This will be your last time if you do not change this. If you do not correct this, your political career is finished. When we begin to, and they can see us in numbers. I mean, look at how many of us are in Lagos? By the way, if you're in Lagos, type, I'm in Lagos, I'm in Lagos. One of the things I feel we could do for those of us in Lagos, on Monday, they have given us the location of where the panel is going to be sitting. The panel of inquiry to look into the killing, including this Lekki killings and extrajudicial killing by SARS. Can we go there and organize a press conference? And just as peer pressure group, number one demand, we need a youth that is a co-chair of that panel. Number two demand, we need 50% of the panel to be young people. Number three demand, we need the panel to first go, get the tapes, do a war press conference and stream, the entire thing that happened. And, and so the investigation needs to even start with the Lekki shooting and invite the GOC, okay? And all the other military commands in Lagos who will have known about ordering military or no ordering military. And they come and talk. What happened? At some point, we even invite the governor to come and talk himself. So I think these are the kind of direction we need to begin to move conversation at this moment. Yet, yes, I agree with you. It can later turn to a political party. But for now, we need to even start putting pressure, right? To say, we need this. Because, guys, okay, last election, they deceived us to say youths were not contesting, right? All the youths I knew Ahmed Buhari was in PDP. Some other ones tried to contest in APC. They didn't even take them serious. The ones Sowore and Co and Fela Doto who went to start their own party, you saw how they ridiculed them with 18,000 votes. Because these guys do not even have, what many of us don't know is that for you to win president, for you to even win election in Nigeria, okay, as a political party, for you to win election at the governorship level, ladies and gentlemen, you need to spend 5 to 10 billion naira. And anybody that tells you otherwise is deceiving you. And I'll give you a breakdown. Even agents, for you to be the president of Nigeria, you need agents in about 150 polling units. 150 polling units. Now, to mobilize those people to move from their house to their polling unit, at least they need to have 10,000 naira. It's legitimate. Okay, cost of mobilization to be our agent in this unit. Multiply 10,000 naira, ladies and gentlemen, by 150,000. Can somebody do that math? Multiply 10,000 naira by 150,000. Okay, that is going to begin to give you an idea of the kind of what is needed, okay, in terms of, so what is really serious, and that's what I'm saying, because earlier when I said we should start a youth party, I agree, but we should still go ahead and flood all the other parties. People were saying no, and that they will be corrupted. The reason people are corrupted is because people went there to help old seasonal politicians become leaders. This one, you are flooding to say, hey, we want 50% of the positions, elective positions, to be given to our people. Else, we are granting this party. And if we move in mass, I mean, look at, how many of you have ever attended a primary, a ward meeting of any political party? You go for that ward meeting and see what they share. Indomie, one tin tomato, or sachet tomato. And I can assure you, in many of the wards, there's not one single graduate there. Not one single graduate that is in those. So at the end of the day, election comes, Baba Sope, this is the person we are voting for. This, because these people are not even that much, you give them, that's why do you think they send talks? These talks are not hard to convince. Give a talk 2,000 naira, he will do and undo. It's the same thing in the north. If you give some of these Almajiri guys 5,000 naira to bring somebody head, they will bring it to you in less than an hour. That's the level of, they have weaponized poverty in Nigeria. They have weaponized poverty. So we need to start new political parties, but you need to know, for those political parties to grow, it takes time. See Showore party, even though it started, even at governorship level, before you know, somebody will hijack the thing. As we speak to you, somebody is still claiming to be the founder, the president of Showore's party. As we speak, as small as that party is, okay, as small as it is, that's the, so when you say it's just going to be by starting a party, you first use 2 election cycles to fight for leadership of that party, because they will sponsor these guys. These guys will infiltrate that party and frustrate everything. So we should start young political parties. I'm not against that. I'm support of that 100%. But we should still infiltrate the existing ones in bulk with demands, without, as well as create pressure groups, even in the existing old political parties. Pressure groups are saying young movement in APC, young political movement in PDP, right? And you are coming together and say 50% of position must elective vote, not even cabinet. Because what they deceive us to say is that, don't worry, it's not your turn yet. When we win, we will give you some cabinet position. I have a friend, Dayo Israel. I saw how much he fought for APC in the last election. I thought they would at least give him a commissioner of youth. At the end of the day, they made him a secretary in Subeb. Right? They will just put you in one place like that. You are quiet. So, and that's what's going on. So this time around, I'm saying the youth should flood, not so that you help them win. No, to flood and say, if you don't give us this thing, at least they now know we have power. We are not going to allow anything to move forward. So I'm going to pick more questions. We have about 30 minutes or so. But is this making sense at all? What this conversation that we need to create pressures, we need to flood all the political parties as well as create new ones. If you agree, type I agree. Come on. Okay. But guys, this is not a one method fits all. That's why we're having this conversation. We need a comprehensive strategy. So it's not like one strategy alone. That's why we're having this conversation, that the strategy has to be very holistic, has to be comprehensive. We must attack this thing with everything. Okay, everything. Let me see. Quite a lot of people want me to add them, but I'm struggling to even see you guys. Please, I know some of us are being kicked out by Zoom. Tomorrow we're going to increase the Zoom to have 500 capacity. But if you want me to pull you up again, please put your details. Okay, Choma Edwin. Okay, you are good to go. Choma Edwin, you're next. For those of you just joining us, please, if you want me to pull you up, tell us your name, the city you're joining us from, the topic you want to discuss, as well as type the word unmute. And when you are done, make sure your video is on and repeat your name and where you are joining us from. Very important, please. So Choma Edwin, you are next. After that is Becky. Choma Edwin, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Actually, I'm using my wife's phone, so my name is Chris. I am in Abu Dhabi, but originally hailed from Imo State. I just joined not quite long, but I listened to what Dr. Stephen said.
Video. Pull up
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I listened to what Dr. Stephen said, and I think he just spoke out of experience. It's very important that we grow pressure groups. That is the only way we can collectively have a common agenda to change the country. But before we can achieve or get to the level of having a positive impact in elections, we need to also infiltrate the already strong existing parties. I don't want to waste much time. He has made most of the points that I would normally contribute. But as time goes on with the meetings, we would be coming up with ideas on how to, get everybody along. But most importantly, considering what has happened, the idea to change the narrative in Nigeria is something that is divine. Nobody would have, believed that good number of youths will come out to protest, but not because we all have good intention, but because there is a reflex that is pushing everybody. So for us to translate this reflex into consistent action, we need to have a plan. We need to have a plan. In as much as most of us might not be in Nigeria, some are in diaspora, we need to also have a kind of a unified system that can connect the youth. If it involves us having a high level of technology to have our own form of electoral platform, to have the leaders that we want to represent us as youth, a platform that we can use to select them, a platform we can use to have a unified discussions, so that someone who is in Imo State under this same platform will not be doing something different, and somebody in Lagos will be doing something different. Before you know it, the ideas and the common goals will be infiltrated, just like the same way hoodlums were trying to hijack the common goal of the protest. So at this point, I think this is the only point I would like to add to what Dr. Stephen has said. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello. Hello, good morning. Oh, sorry, good night. Hello. Hello. Go on. Hello. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello. Please, can you hear me? Hello, good evening. But I can't hear you, so I need someone to speak to me. Hello, Akintayo.
B.O., go ahead. B.O., go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Becky, and I'm talking to you today from Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States. I want to talk about youth involvement. In America, you have to be 95% of the time, you have to be 18 years of age to get into college or university. So 2012, I was doing a little program in one of the colleges, and I saw what youth involvement can do, how youth involvement can change an election. I'm not talking about youths of about 30 years old and 40 years old or 25 years old. I'm talking about youths of about 18, 19, 20, and 21. But in Nigeria, we are lucky because we have this 15, 16 years old already in the university. So if we are going to catch these leaders of tomorrow, we have to catch them young. They shouldn't learn about politics through the SUG. They have to come in. One of the main things I did while I was volunteering for the 2012 election was just to explain the agenda to these people, to explain to them what they stand to gain individually if they vote for this or if they vote for this, how the person that wins the election is going to affect their life individually. I think we should go back to the schools. We should go to the schools, have these young people understand the electoral process. They don't even know what it means for them. All they know is PDP, APC. Going back to what Yewande Esquire said, he talks about new youth political parties. Yeah, that is fine. But these people, you want to raise leaders that are going to continue. We don't just want to win 2023. We want to raise people that are going to continue in the fight to make Nigeria great. We have to go to these schools, to this grassroots, pick up these 15 years old, 16 years old, explain to them what leadership is. They don't even know what it means to vote or what it means for somebody to win an election, how it affects them. My only job during my volunteer in 2012 for the election was just to tell them, if this person wins, this is what your school is going to get. You can get this education, this healthcare system is what we're going to operate, just to explain to them what they need. The 45 years old youth, the 50 years old youth, the 35 years old youth, a lot of them are corrupt and a lot of them already understand. But then we're talking about these young people, we're talking about these 18, 21, 22, 23 years old that have not even gone to serve. A lot of them don't even know why they serve their country. If PDP wins, that's all they know. Buhari will be president. If APC wins, this other person will be president. They don't understand the agenda. They don't understand what the manifesto represents. We have to enlighten these people. We have to tell them why they have to get a PVC at the age of 18, why they cast their vote. They don't know. They have no idea. So we need people in each state to work with these young people to explain to them, because we need their force, we need their power. There are a lot of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. That's a fantastic contribution. I appreciate you very well. We have Deolu Adedayo. You can mute yourself. Okay. Lawal, let's see if we can get Lawal back again. Lawal, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Lawal Oludamilare from your state, Ibadan. So I want to speak on the mosque, the church, and the Hollywoods. Our script, this comedy of the thing. You see, we need to educate everybody. Everybody needs to go back to their churches. Educate your pastors. Pastors, imams, afars, mosque, church, they are the major people these people are using to brainwash people over either APC or PDP. Let me tell you something. I am one of APC member, and I won my primary as honorable in my constituency, Osun State, Iwo. So I have their experience, I have the knowledge, I have the scope they use. They go to the churches, to your pastors, to mosque imam place, they give them money and they brainwash them to brainwash their members. There is nobody that is not going to church. There is nobody that is not going to mosque. We need to do that first. Number two is that they are using all these Nollywood actors and actresses for their campaign. Whenever we need to tell them the reason why those people do not need to collect money from them again. We need to educate them as well. They might be educated, but see, they are also brainwashed. All these kids like Kilo Koma, Thomas Sheskiti, like macaroni, like everybody, we need to tell them they should always educate people through their skits too. Doing skits that will educate people. People spend a lot of time on phone, watch their skits, and they will start laughing. So they need to start educating people so that we are unable to reach. We need to reach to the grassroots. Those people we know things through the skits. And lastly, please allow me. Lastly, we need to go back to our hometown, because they also want election through hometown. I'm telling you the truth. They will go to the hometown. Those mama who does not even have anything, who are not even educated, they will just give them 1,000 naira, 500 or 200 naira. They vote for them. Like me now, I'm from Iwo, Osun State. I used to go to my altar. I used to educate my people. Everybody needs to go back to their hometown, educate your father, educate your mother, educate your relatives, your family. Either you are in the bus, anywhere you are there, speak about the youth movements. That's all I have to say tonight. Thank you.
Fantastic. That's a very good one. Those of you in diaspora, tell your family members if they don't have PVC, you are not sending them money, right? That's how you start your education. No PVC, no money. Go and get one. Yes.
The churches, the mosque, please, the churches, the mosque. We need to work on pastors and the affairs and the imam. Please, that is very important. And Miss Dr. Stevie Akintayo, please try to be jotting down every word, everybody, every comment, everything everybody are talking about. Maybe we should have another platform about aside from this, where you draft everything.
All that is noted, please. Because of other people, let's just talk quickly. Okay, guys. So,
okay, thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cyril or Friday, I've muted both of you. Can go ahead.
Okay, my name is Cyril. This is Cyril. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, good evening. First of all, I want to commend you for the great work you are doing and for all those who stood up to Sorosoke and for the new reawakening we're having in our nation, Nigeria. It's a beautiful thing to see. I have also listened to other people on this platform, and everybody is expressing ideas, whether going solo or a new political party or entering into the old ones. Let me say something about what got us all to where we are today. NSAS is a metaphor. It's an idea whose time has come. Those who created it began to address a challenge we have in our society, and it grew organically. It is necessary that we do not lose the magic of the NSAS. There's no hurry about leadership or about structure. People, celebrities, all those who have started this movement must sustain the tempo in speaking out about the challenges in our nation. Now, certain things flow organically. I have the pleasure on the plateau. I don't come from Plateau, but I live here. And I lead a coalition of 26 organizations. It's called Plateau Coalition of Business and Professional Associations, PLACOBA. And we receive support from the Center for International Private Enterprise in Washington. Now, you do not need to reinvent the wheel. I believe that the NSAS movement, where we are now, must understand how to build coalitions, how to work with other groups, how to spread their tentacles. And yes, for now, it looks like there's a disconnect between the North and the South. Now, that has to be deliberately attended to, so that we speak consistently of the concerns of the people in the North here. Why it is like that is that for those who are in the South or Southerners, there's this challenge. Everybody understands the evil of NSAS. So you need to also raise those key concerns people in the North are having, banditry, Boko Haram and all that, and we need to keep talking about these things. Now, whether or not the youth will take over the system, the truth of it is that what has been achieved in less than 3 weeks has shaken Nigeria to its roots. And suddenly our political leaders are awake. And it is because, you see, evil thrives when good people keep quiet. The young people have started speaking. Let us not lose that voice. Let us not be in a hurry. Now, okay, you can't go out to protest and all that, but issues must be raised consistently. You see, pressure in the world over, the political leaders understand pressure groups. That is what NSAS has become. It is a pressure group. It must not stop. The issues have been raised and now everybody is sitting up. And unfortunately or fortunately for the political class, the spread is crossing over from the southwest, southeast. We're in the middle belt. In fact, I'm in Jos today. There was a bonanza for palliatives and all that. It's gotten into Kaduna. And I assure you, before you know, it will be in Sokoto. Now, the masses of Nigeria are hungry. Everybody is affected by this thing. So let's speak the same language. Now, the hurry about we start a political party. You see, the truth, you said some things and I like your exposure. Political party no be beans. You don't just get there overnight. So the first thing we do is those who are there, 3 years is a long time. You need to be alive to vote in 2023. We need to get these guys who are there now to sit up.
Exactly.
And it is not next week, it is not next year, it is today, it is now. So please, the pressure must not stop. Absolutely. And the coalitions, and then those, the people who have the star appeal and all that. Everybody knows in Nigeria who Davido is, even in Jigawa. People should begin to deliberately come over here to interact. And let me say this, there is a structure for entertainment that is already present in the North, which people in the South do not understand. While we have Nollywood, they've created something called Kannywood, and they have their stars. They have household names. I don't see any reason why we can't have a handshake with such people and begin to involve them and conscientize them. And I assure you, if you break into the youthful population of the North, the game is over. Because the whole game plan now, the gimmick of the North side divide, or they bring religion or ethnicity or something and all that. So it is about the youth. It is about the concerns of Nigeria. Let us keep talking. I assure you something that happens. Things flow organically. The awakening and the hunger now for people to do things differently. Suddenly, governors are making promises left, right, center, local government. Everybody is waking up, and it is great. Even the people in Aso Villa have sat up. So please, thank you very much. Let us just maintain the pressure. Things like what you've provided now is a platform to create a conversation. We should not stop it. Things, just as NSAS grew organically, and it's a global, Pan-African, world. In fact, the whole Africa is looking up to us now. We should continue it. And leaders will evolve naturally. There's no hurry. It will begin. And yes, we can affect 2023. In fact, we can affect local government election. Other elections we hold before 2023. So let us not just focus on that. We need to also be alive before then, as I said. Thank you so much for the opportunity to speak. And blessings and good luck. And we are with you, and you're doing a great job. And for all those who have also tuned in, it's wonderful to hear people suddenly being concerned about what's going on. I've been in the political sphere on and off for a long time, and I understand. And I have never been happier in my life. Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you.
We have, yes, as Kelvin, you are next, Kelvin. And because of our time, Kelvin will be the last person for today. What we're going to do with tomorrow, we will increase the capacity of this show to be able to take up to 500 people. A lot of people said they couldn't join us, but so tomorrow we increase that. Kelvin, go ahead. Hello, Kelvin. Okay, so the time is 7 p.m. Nigerian time for now. If we need to change it, we'll let you know. So for now, we use 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Kelvin, go ahead. You need to unmute yourself. Please go ahead, Kevin, unmute yourself and go ahead. Eric, is this link the same link for tomorrow? Hello, Eric. Is this the same link we're going to be using for tomorrow, Eric? Kelvin, I'm still waiting for you to unmute yourself. Okay, so I'm going to just allow Kayode speak instead of Kelvin and be the last person. Kayode, let's see. Kayode Oduntan, please go ahead.
Hello, Stephen. Stephen.
Kayode Oduntan, go ahead.
Thank
please.
you, and good evening, everyone. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this movement. In my own little way, I think that the present Senate we have in Nigeria have promised us electoral reforms. They have promised us constitutional reforms.
Is your video on? Can we see your video?
God knows how many years. I can't even count how many years they have promised us this. But over time, we have seen that they are not ready. Yes, my video is on.
Yeah, but your network is breaking, really.
Yes, my video is on.
Yeah, but it's cracking.
Yes, my video is on. Okay.
Just go ahead.
Yeah, my video is on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can we see my video?
I said go ahead.
Okay, let me.
Please, can you go ahead? Hello, are you there? Okay, so I'm not sure he's here. What I've done, I've created a group. I'm calling it the New Nigeria Movement. New Nigerian Youth Movement. That's the name I'm giving it. It's a WhatsApp group. Everybody has been asking for WhatsApp group. So it's a WhatsApp group. I'm going to post that link now. You can all join. We can continue this conversation. Tomorrow we're still going to be here to discuss, to interact. But let's start the conversation. If this group gets filled up, we'll create another group. Please note, we're not a political party, we're a movement. By that, it means we're a pressure group and we're hoping to continue to have conversations and continue to discourse, continue to see how we can move for something good. Some of you are asking us to create a Telegram group. Yeah, let's just create the WhatsApp for now. Once it's filled up, we can then create Telegram. I notice that people are not as active on Telegram like they are on Facebook. So, obviously. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have been here. You've watched, you've contributed. I apologize, some of you were not able to bring you up. We'll do our best tomorrow to bring you up. I've posted the link again. Just copy it and you can join. It's a WhatsApp group. So just click on that link. It should take you to the WhatsApp group. Yes, I just posted the link. For those of you asking for the link again, I've just posted it. So let me just recap a couple of things that were discussed tonight. Number one, we need to do grassroots sensitization everywhere, just grassroots sensitization, the importance of voting, the need for people to, the importance of those they call thugs, hoodlums, to know that they cannot afford to sell their destiny, their future. The reason why, and just get these people to also be on our side, because if we don't, the politicians will continue to, and they will keep using them against us. Election will come, these guys will carry stone, they will carry stick and go and disrupt where people are voting, and everybody will be running helter-skelter. That's what they've been doing. That's what they will still do. They will still use these hoodlums. So what this then means is that we all need to come out, we all need to speak out, we all need to find a way to talk to these hoodlums and say, hey, we're having this conversation in the interest of every one of us. These people that are giving you money, how long will this money last you? You know, so we need to begin to have that conversation. Number two, we need to have data gathering, start gathering data, streets, names of streets, names of people leading those streets. We need to have, just begin to gather data everywhere, right? And just begin to gather data. Number three, connect with the North. We need to find a way to connect with the North. We need to find a way to connect with the North very strongly. Let's connect with the North. Number four, of course, vote. Let me see. Okay, we need to all get, create a platform that everybody can bring everybody together. So we need to create a platform that can bring everybody together across all divides. Okay, so create a platform that brings everybody together across all divides. We need a new political party. We need to join the existing parties also. We need to come up with a brand new constitution. We need skill acquisition for all these people they call touts. We need turn to a pressure group. Even within political parties, have pressure groups that can enforce agenda of young people. Platform for communication has also been discussed. We need to educate pastors, imams, churches, Nollywood actors and actresses. Everybody got to be involved, and we need to push everybody to get involved. Those of you who have gotten the link, kindly pass it on to others who are asking for it. Our last conversation will be with a gentleman in the US. His name is Dipo Adesina. Came up with a brilliant idea, and I supported it. So I, together worked on a name for what we're doing. It's called the New Nigerian Youth Movement. And let's hear from him some of the ideas he has. Yeah, Deepo, we need.
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're joining us from Deepo. Go ahead.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
So definitely thanks so much for this opportunity. So earlier this morning, Dr. Stephen and emphasized on the need for us to create a movement. All right. And this is a movement that's just not localized to Nigeria. It's a youth movement that it's going to be global, which also impacts and affects those of us in the diaspora. So throughout our conversation, we came up with the name New Nigeria Youth Movement. And the purpose of this movement is to distinguish the young people who are for peace, the young people who are nonviolent, and the young people who are really interested in creating a new economy, Nigeria. And this movement would clearly who are for Nigeria against the hoodlums, which we're seeing now. Part of the problem we're seeing now, Dr. Steve, that there's, as far as the leadership is concerned, all the youth are the same because people are burning up places. They're doing all manners of chaos. So the part of the agenda is that we are going to start a movement in every state. So even though there's going to be, let's say, one person to oversee the entire movement, but from a local level in each state, there will be someone who oversees the things that are going on in respective state. Okay, so let's say in Abuja, for example, there will be a head coordinator who will be, who will be leading that area in Oyo State, in Lagos State. So that way, when it's time to vote, we have enough. We have one voice. When it's time to put people, we have one voice. So that's pretty much the overall synopsis of what we did. But the goal is to make sure that we have at least 50 million Nigerians who's going to be 50 million youth in Nigeria that's going to be part of this movement. And when we have a movement, the government has no other choice than to listen, and more importantly, for us to start dictating how we want the country to be, because we're operating under one voice. So that's pretty much the overview. We're still working on the logistics. We already have, the domain name. We already have all the social media handles. So please get ready, because this is going to be a very powerful movement. Many of you might not understand the power of a movement, but here in America, in the 1960s, there was something we call the Civil Rights Movement. All right. The Civil Rights Movement is the main reason why African Americans are enjoying what's happening in America today. All right. Because they started a movement. So anytime there's a movement, a change must come. All right. And I believe that this is the time for a change in Nigeria, and it can only happen when there's a strong movement that young people can identify with. So with that being said, I'll turn it back to Dr. Stephen, and we'll be passing along any information as time goes on.
Well, I'm even shocked that this man is having this conversation. He doesn't believe in politics. He doesn't watch the news, but this is to tell you the kind of energy that this whole EndSARS has created. And he's based in Baltimore. He doesn't, even in America, he doesn't want to hear politics. He doesn't want to hear movement or anything. So creating a peaceful, peaceful civil movement is something shocking for me, that Dipo Adesina will be considering having that conversation. But honestly, this is what this whole thing has done to everybody's realizing that, hey, if we do not speak up, right, we will all be victims. It's a shame that human life does not have value anymore in this part of the world. It's a shame. It's really, really a shame. So we're hoping. I don't know why it's Choma Edwin that is able to see the link. Choma Edwin, can you do me a favor of just posting the link for everybody to see? I've been trying to find a way to the WhatsApp group we've created. Go also on social media. I think Dipo has created the link. Dipo has also created social media handle called NNY Movement. NNY Movement across all social media handle. So this movement is still going to have several aspects to it. It's still going to have 5 different arms to this movement. There's still going to be an arm of the movement that is called Landlord of the Street. There's also going to be another arm that is Landlord of Social Media. So Landlord of the Street are going to be the ones to go into the grassroots, those they call talks, those they call, find a way to educate, orientate these people. Landlord of Social Media obviously are going to be the ones who are social media influencers and warriors and things like that. Probably we'll have landlord of celebrity landlords, right? Who are just going to be celebrities who we'll keep calling other celebrities to be involved, to speak, and things like that. So we still have a lot to discuss and review. Nothing is cast in stone. These are just, we're just talking, right? So, but you know, we just feel at least let's start somewhere. Somebody said we should have brain landlords too. You know, I agree. We should have. So you should have at least 5 arm, if not more. Like the brain landlord he's talking about, I agree absolutely. They can be the strategic arm of the movement. They just give us ideas. They are the think tank strategy lords, you know. Yes, data collection landlord. So another arm that focus on data collection. We just want to have data of everybody, their phone numbers, their details, who they are, and all of that. So yeah, let's start a movement, and it's important. It's important. So let's join the WhatsApp group first of all. I think that's critical. Once we join the WhatsApp group, we don't have a logo. Like I said, this is just a conversation. Deepak called me, and like I said, I took him serious because I used to call him. Do you know what has happened in the US? Do you know Donald Trump? I said, I'm not interested. You know, so for him to now be the one saying, you know what, can we start a movement? I said, nah, like there's trouble now. I mean, for at this point, it don't happen for someone like this to be. And I'm not surprised because Dr. Pemba would too. I remember his daughter wouldn't come back to Nigeria. In fact, they came at some point, there was no electricity, and they vowed never to come to Nigeria again. So he said he was shocked how his daughter donated $120 to Feminist Coalition. He was just wondering, how did you? But you know, it's this is one movement that, trust me, has gone far and wide, and there's just nothing anybody can do anymore to stop this. We have to change this country. We have to. We ain't gonna, you know, we ain't gonna. Well, again, if you join the group, somebody say implement security on the WhatsApp group so that it won't be hijacked. Well, once you join the WhatsApp group, give us the security now. Like we said, we don't, um, you know, we don't, it's just, let's even start with a name. We still obviously need to think of, you know, other things. So let's just join the WhatsApp group. Let's start the conversation. I think that's just what's important. Those of you who have the group, please send to people privately, send to them generally. Let everybody have the group. I've also put it on the WhatsApp. Let's just discuss and just see. Okay, but I agree that for now, you know, let's start a movement. And this movement for me is to hold existing politicians accountable. Okay, let's existing politicians accountable. Okay, so all this we are waiting for 2023. We want it now. We want the change now. And honestly, for me, tomorrow I will make that a major conversation of our deliberation tomorrow. Major conversation. My own view tomorrow is on Monday, let's turn where those judicial panel people are sitting. Okay, because they've been accusing young people for not showing up. But the reality is that what they're, you know, the composition of those panels is not even showing that they really mean business for us. First of all, a youth should be a co-chair. Okay, number two, youth should be 50-50. You can't just put old people there again and, you know, and say, so for me, this, so tomorrow we're going to discuss that. We're going to focus on the panel that has been created by government. Okay, we're going to discuss that. The link, I'm trying to create can somebody help me create a customized URL link for the WhatsApp group so that I can put it on Facebook too. And if you can help us put that group on Facebook, those on Facebook have been asking, also on YouTube at Akintayo TV. So at some point we may, if we all take the movement seriously, we may move all this conversation to the social media platform of the movement, and and just do most of our shows there, so that, because I'm a businessman, I still have business to run, and I don't intend to even go into politics in 2023. So so that my page doesn't turn to I still have to sell. I'm not a career politician, so and I have people's salary to pay every month. So so it's good that we are giving this a name, and things can start happening on those platforms, and that then helps us to achieve a lot more. A big thank you to everybody who has been part of this. God bless you, real good. You guys are amazing. You're amazing. And God bless you all, and a big thank you. Thank you for all that. God bless you. So we now have a new URL, which is bit.ly/NNYMGRP. Why not just do NNY movement? Mohammed, can you just make it a bit.ly link and just do bit.ly/NNY movement? Can you help me create that? I think that's better for people to remember. That's more better for people to remember. So that's a good one. Beautiful. So good. Thank you. So guys, on Facebook, the link to join the WhatsApp group is bits. That's bit.ly/movement. Okay, bit.ly/movement. That's all. Okay, bit.ly/movement. It's a global movement, so people from all over the world can join. Global movement. And like I said, this will start a new political party. There's nothing wrong with it. Those who have energy to start that, we're going to give you all the support you need. Please go ahead, by all means. But we must hold these people accountable. This current one. Let me shock you what happened in Edo. There was a town hall meeting with Obaseki. And he was so touched. And you know what he said? He said, I promise you 40% of my new cabinet, he just won re-election, will be young people. He said, I never knew we were this far from you guys. 40% of my new cabinet. And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. So because we know those young people now that he's going to put in cabinet, if they start misbehaving, can't we call them out? The problem is that the people, the commissioner for Lagos State, I don't even know his name. The commissioner for transport, for information, I don't even know his name. Social media director for Sanwo-Olu, I don't even know his name. These are people who are not there. We don't know where they bring them from. I saw the Relu of Lagos was also saying the same thing. When we put people that don't have a face, nobody knows them, go and check some of them. So I bet that the person who is handling social media, whatever, to Sanwo-Olu, I bet he doesn't have 50,000 people on the social media. So when we don't even know these people, that's the funny thing. So they pull up leaders, and that's why they are so far from us. These people are too far. Like, when we say far, they are way, way far. But once we build a movement that can hold people accountable, that we all begin to say, no, we will not take this one. We call out government. We call out even those that are ministers. We call out these that are people and say we deserve better leadership now. We deserve. I think that's what we should start with, right? Let's even force them now to start making changes. Look at how COVID-19 happened. I don't know if you agree with me that the healthcare system in Nigeria is not yet corrected. If you agree, type I agree. There is no move, right? COVID is gone like that. No genuine move to say we failed to have good healthcare system. COVID-19 happened. Many of these politicians died because they couldn't travel abroad. But still, they are not changing anything in the healthcare sector. Nothing. We will just all move on like that again. If another stronger COVID comes, kill all of us, we die there. So guys, we need to start having conversations. Our leaders must be accountable. Please, we need youth from the north. We need youth from the north. We need youth from the north. So please share these links. We can't change Nigeria without the north. I was born in Maiduguri, and I know what the north represents. If you want change in Nigeria, listen, what happened in Lagos? If that momentum were to be in the north, there was no going back. Nigeria will have changed. I promise you. What happened? What happened? Because the north is northerners are not that nice. I mean, many of these people use religion to cage them. But if their eye is open, there's no turning back. You saw what led to Boko Haram. It was just killing one person that led to what you know as Boko Haram today. Killing one person in Maiduguri was what led to Boko Haram. So if we're going to create a movement that is going to hold government accountable, we need the North. And we need the Northern youths involved. And we need to talk to ourselves. We all, because these people are going to die very soon. They're all going to die very soon. So is this what we're going to leave the country to? No. Love you all. Thank you so much for coming. Good night, everybody.